Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Shannon here with Fit for Profit, where we help wellness business owners to keep more of your money so that you can focus more time on the incredible work you do with your clients without the stress of money affecting your work. So, our goal is to remove that stress or lighten that stress as much as we possibly can and really remove it. We've seen it been removed for a lot of our clients. So, that is our goal. I'm super excited to be back home this week. I was gone for about 10 days at ProfitCon and my mastermind event that is related to being a Profit First professional. And I'm super excited. I have something completely different to share for you today, but then I will spend the next week kind of debriefing from that event and look forward to bringing you some of the things that I learned at that event in the future on Facebook Lives. So definitely stop back in on future Thursdays for that information and that learning as well. We can learn together there. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a question I received this week. And I'm going to come at you with some pretty hard truths. So if that isn't your thing, if you're not ready to hear some hard things that may be affecting you with your money, you may just want to stop this video right now. And if you are ready to hear some hard truths that could potentially radically change the way you view money and your money outlook and the way money affects your life. Like I said at the very beginning, removing that stress. If you're ready to hear some hard truths, then give me an emoji, raise your hand, put it up in the comments so that I know you're here and I know that I can come at you with some things that may be uncomfortable, but really the only way to get comfortable is to walk through that uncomfortable time, right? So the question I got this week was, why don't I have enough money, or why didn't I have enough money in my operating expense account to pay my bills? And before I go any further, I realize it's been a while that since I've covered the basics of Profit First in a Facebook Live. So some of you may be new here and you may be asking, what is this operating expense account? So I'm going to put a link below in the comments to our YouTube channel and there a specific video that covers the basics of Profit First. You can absolutely go there and check out older Facebook Lives. They're all the recorded Facebook Lives. I find them easier to find in YouTube, but I also know Facebook and YouTube don't play very well together. If I put that link right here in the caption for this video, so I'll put it in the comments. You can go there and see, find the basics for Profit First and see what else you've missed that might be helpful for you. So back to the topic of the day. Why didn't I have enough money in my operating expense account to pay all of my bills? Hard truth number one, if you can't pay all of your bills, you can't afford all of your bills. That's really what it comes down to. When you don't have enough money in your operating expense account, that is the biggest signal, red flag, if you will, that your expenses are more than your business can financially support. I'll let that sink in for a minute. When you can't pay all of your bills from your operating expense account, it means that your expenses are more than your business can financially, healthily support. Okay. So that probably means you're going into debt, whether it's you putting money in as the business owner, whether it's you not taking money that you should for your salary, whether you're literally putting it on a credit card. That's probably what is happening when you don't have enough money in your operating expense to pay your bills. So we really need to go do an expense analysis. Again, there's a video on YouTube that goes into the details of how to do an expense analysis. So I'm going to let you find that there. But today I just wanted to remind you, if you don't have enough money in your expense account, it's probably because you can't afford all of your bills. There are a couple of other reasons that I definitely wanted to highlight, but that's the number one reason. The second reason may be that you're using the wrong percentages. So a lot of times we see people who try to implement Profit First all on their own, and they start with too low of a percentage in their operating expense account. So you may have the wrong percentage in there, and you may need to adjust your percentages. That is something we can absolutely help with. So if you are interested in help, send us a DM and let us know, and we can book a call to figure out how we can help you with your allocation percentages. The third reason, and this is usually true at the very beginning of implementing Profit First, is that you may have the timing not quite right yet. I don't want to say wrong because there's nothing wrong about it. It's just that you haven't figured out the timing as to when your income comes in and when you need to pay what expenses. So maybe you have a lot of income that comes in, let's say the 15th of the month, but your rent is due the first of the month. Well, if you spend all of that money between the first and the 30th of the month, then you won't have enough money for your rent. It's not that you can't support your rent, maybe there's some other expenses. Maybe you just need to save or set aside some of that money that comes in on the 15th specifically for rent or a bigger expense that just doesn't match up timing wise, the income and the expenses. So again, that's something we can help you look at if you've been doing this for not very long or a couple months even and you still can't figure out the rhythm. Let us know and we can help you figure out like when you should be paying what expenses. Maybe you need to change. No landlord is going to tell you you can't pay your rent on the 20th of the month. If it's like the 20th of, like, let's say October for the November 1st payment, they're not going to tell you you can't pay it early. Or there are some tricks we have that you can act as if you've paid it early, but not actually pay it too, because you may not want to pay it early. So there are different ways that we can look at that. So if that's the case, it may just be a timing issue and you may need to realign when you pay some of your expenses. It may also be if you've added some expenses recently, so you've been implementing Profit First for a few years, maybe even, and you've added some expenses. Again, we may just need to look at the timing of when you pay those expenses and redistribute them so that it better matches your income. So those are a couple of other reasons that you may not have had enough in your operating expense account at one time to pay your bills. But again, the most typical reason is that you really can't afford all of your bills and you need to go find some expenses to reduce in your business. Maybe you're also using the wrong percentages. Maybe your timing is a little bit off. Those are things we can definitely help you with. We can also help you with the expense analysis if that's what you want. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know, what was your biggest takeaway? What is the one reason you think maybe if you've run into this that you haven't been able to pay all of your bills on time? Or even if you have been, like what's something that you're considering just evaluating coming up? So what was your biggest takeaway? Leave that in the comments. It's always fun to see. And as always, we will be back next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, probably to share some things that I learned at ProfitCon last week. So I hope you all have a great weekend. If there's anything that you want us to cover in these Facebook Lives, feel free to drop us a DM or leave a comment below. And we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.